Hey guys, so today's video is just going to be a quick, straight to the point video. I have two sets on, both pretty different. One has a bunch of bling and then the other are pretty long. Both are polygel, and polygel and gel are basically the hardest nail building mediums that you can use because they don't come off with just acetone. So I'm going to show you how I remove my nails today, as well as how I prep them after removing. So that includes like how I do my cuticles and everything like that. So I'm just going to get right into it. No fluff, because I just want to be able to refer back to this video for people who have questions about it. So let's go. Okay, first things first, I am going to use this background because it's not like you guys need to see exact or anything. This is when you're going to want to take a pair of nail clippers. Now, if you have chunky rhinestones like this, you probably are not going to be able to fit those in there. That's fine. We will work with it. So I'm going to start with this side and then we'll move from there. Sometimes your nails can be too thick to where this doesn't really work. But if that's the case, I would recommend a pair of like cuticle nippers. These are ones that I used to take off gems. As you can tell, they are pretty beat up, sort of bent at this point. Don't use these on your cuticles or skin. If you can't fit your nail in this, that probably means you're doing them a little too thick in general. Beware of flying nails. So there, we got those off. Now this side with the rhinestone. So I'm going to try to just sort of get in there. That's not going to work. So what you're going to want to do is grab a pair of cuticle nippers like this, and you're going to use these to take off the rhinestones. This is how I take off rhinestones in general. This McCart rhinestone nail glue is so good. This has been almost 2 weeks. Ooh, careful. These ones are shattering. Yikes. So when you're doing these, don't bother getting these ones up here because that's a waste of time since you're just going to clip off the length. Now that you can fit in that and clip off the length, there we go. Any extra little, like right here, we will just, of course, just file off. So we're going to get there. Sometimes, of course, these big rhinestones will prevent you from doing that with all the gel. So just clip those off along the line. You're basically wanting to cut it at the length of your natural nail underneath, but that is not absolutely necessary if you don't want to get that close. There we go. Also, yes, say you get this bare off right here in one piece, there is no reason you can't reuse that. And then once you have your nails, it is very important. Okay, listen, you put them in the nail graveyard. And then at this point, you can see I still have a ton of little rhinestones. You want to clip those off before you start filing because a lot of rhinestones are made out of like resin and those sort of materials. And that is not something you want to grind up into tiny little pieces and breathe in. And if you can clip any excess, like, you know, chunks of gel off or anything, that's just a bonus. Usually if you're getting them off like this, though, it doesn't take too much time. Then this magnet is probably also something that should come off. There we go. Now I'm bringing out the paper towel, and you know what that means, it's time to file. So lots of stuff to talk about with this. To remove nails, I always use my Kiara Sky electric file just because this is the most powerful one that I have and I feel like does the job the quickest. This one, however, is very expensive and you don't need it. Something that will work just fine is this one by McCart. This one is a little bit still on the pricier side, but it works very, very, very well. Now, if you're planning on doing polygel nails long term, you should probably get some sort of e-file. You can hand file these, but wow, it's going to take you a long time, let me tell you. So because polygel does not soak off in acetone, that's why we have to file so much. So as you guys know, I do a thicker base coat because that base coat is able to be soaked off by acetone. So what I'm going to do is file down to that base layer for me. Obviously this is going to be a ton of dust. I do have a dust collector from McCart, which I do recommend. I'm just out of filters for it right now. And if you don't have a filter and a dust collector, it just basically blows it everywhere. I am just going to use this paper towel, but definitely recommend a dust collector. I'm hoping when I have a better setup, I'll be able to use that every time, but right now I just don't even have like a plug to plug it in right now. That's why I like these cordless files. So I'm going to be using a safety bit, and a safety bit is where it is rounded on the top, so if you were to file in like that, it won't hurt you. Now, I like to use these because I am still not super great at an e-file, and this will make sure I don't whack up my cuticles like a weed whacker. So we're just gonna mainly focus on doing any extra length that you can see, and then also debulking. And then you can see like that I have my base layer on. It did take off some of my base coat as well, but majority of my base layer is there. And we got off all the pinks. So really file down until that color is gone. If you're doing all clear, then just make sure to leave a thin layer. Now with this, you're not wanting to press super hard. You don't want to like be forcing it. You just want to like sort of be firm, but don't be pushing very hard. That's an easy way to accidentally file your natural nail. If you're starting to feel warmth, you definitely want to take the speed down. Okay, so as you can see, I got all of that on it. Now I'm gonna do the other hand. These ones do be a bit thick though. Okay, and now I have most of the polygel off and we're basically left with the base coat. So I'm gonna take this little crusty dish. I got this one from Candy Co, and you're gonna wanna get some pure acetone, not just acetone, pure acetone. You can find this at Sally's, any supply store. And then you're gonna wanna pour. Honestly, I make a mess with it every time, but that's fine. And then you're gonna wanna soak your fingers. You can also do this with like, it's like the cotton ball method. You can soak a cotton ball with acetone and put it on your nail wrapped in foil for a bit. I personally just like to do this because I am impatient and I like to scrape it off as soon as humanly possible. If you have a thin layer, you probably only need 5-10 minutes. If you have a thicker layer, you can need upwards of 30. I have a thinner layer today, so hopefully it shouldn't be too long. So I will check back with you in say 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so then I'm just going to just scrape what's left off. You might have to do a couple times, and careful leaving your like hands out of the acetone for too long because it'll harden up again. So you want your products to scrape off like this, sort of like in chunks. If it's sticky, that means there is not good stuff in your nail products and you should consider switching and researching like what that means. It's like MMA. As someone who has not gone to like school with this, I at least know that that is not good. So do consider that if your nail products are like coming off like really sticky and gummy. Okay, and then once you have like 99% of the product removed, your nails are gonna look crusty dusty, but this is a trust the process sort of thing. So I'm gonna do my other hand. This hand does have a bit more product on it, as the products that I used on this hand were a bit harder like literally physically, like it was denser. So it's a little bit harder to get off. So I'm just going to let that soak for a while, probably about 15 minutes, and I'll be back. Alrighty, it's been a bit. I'm just gonna scrape this off. I like to make sure I go generally like both ways in this. So I just down to my cuticle and then up. That one will definitely need another little soak. You will notice that I do have a couple problem nails, such as this one. This one I tore half off, but she's recovering. So that's good. So my nails do lift sometimes, not because of all the nails that I do, but because of like health related stuff. So that can happen all the time if you're deficient in things and take certain medications, and that's me. So Sometimes nails lift and so they get this like little curved thing, but they always generally do grow out because I end up taking like extra special care of those ones. Looking good today though. I've been working on keeping them a bit healthier because if your nails are thinner, that can definitely make them extra prone to lifting and splitting and all the stuff that we don't want with our nails. So these ones need a little bit more of a soak, so I'm trying to get all that off and then put one more time and we'll be done taking off the nails. Okay, so I've gone and washed my hands and here are the nails all done. This is just taking them off, not how I prep them or like clean them up at all. So assuming you also want to know how I clean them up, let's get going. So what I like to first do is just file down much length. I don't really use my natural length as I always do for long tips. I usually make sure it's like nice and rounded, that way they aren't too sharp and they're all even. And also to get rid of any unevenness. I mean, my nails did grow a bit though, which is good. Don't really need the length, but it's always good to see that they're growing a little bit more instead of lifting. Been really working on making sure I take my vitamins every single day. Okay, great. Now that we have all those filed down, next I'm gonna be taking a Cuticle Eliminator / like softener, and I'm just going to put that on all of my cuticles, like so. Mine are definitely always really stuck to my actual nail, so without this, it almost like, I don't know, won't move or will like cut my skin. I try to do this one at a time because you're not supposed to leave this on for a super long time. And then I'm gonna get my Cuticle Pusher. This one is different. You can see I prefer an edge like this. You can sort of see like that. Personally, this is the one that I scraped all of the base coat off. This one you can see it almost has like a sharp edge and I don't really like that. You just want to push the cuticles back, you don't want to cut them. Okay, so I'm just going to do the side walls. You can sort of see all the just gunk I'm getting off. That's cuticle. Again, you don't want to scrape super hard. You just want to make sure you're scraping off any dead skin, basically. Got all that at the end, and you can try to sort of just scrape that off. Sometimes you will have to clip it off. Sometimes it'll just come off on its own with this Cuticle Eliminator. Okay, so now that I have all that, you're going to want to go wash this off. Again, just gonna do the other hand. All right, and then once that's all fully dry, I'm gonna put this bit on my e-file. And you can probably see they look so scraggly now because that's all just dead skin. But I'm just going to go through and very lightly, remember, this is just what I do, you don't gotta follow me. I'm just going to very lightly clean up anything, and then I'm going to try to take off the skin with a bit, and then anything I can't get off with a bit, then I will clip off. I just don't like clipping my cuticles because I'm not good at it, and I always end up nipping myself and I don't want to do that, so I tried to reduce that to my best ability. So let's get on with it. All right, now I use this on a super low setting. If there's something you do not need, it is doing your cuticles on a high setting. Okay, you never need that, and this will just get off anything that you missed, especially like I'm not great about getting the sidewalls. There we go, not much. I feel like I did pretty good today though. Okay, so these are like the round bits that I like to use depending on like the area. So I'm gonna just sort of take a small but not tiny bit, and I'm just gonna try to clean up mainly like my skin. This you do not want to press hard on at all. Like you want to barely lightly touch it. Like look at that, that skin needs to go. And then this bit. Okay, and then anything that didn't get, I will just sort of clip off. Ooh, look at all that. Much better. They're gonna look all crusty almost no matter what, as long as they haven't been like re-moisturized. So they will look much better in a moment once we put some cuticle oil on there. Okay, and then just for funsies, we're gonna use this one. This is like a little cleans up the dust. Alrighty, and then I'm going to be putting some cuticle oil on. This one's from Kiara Sky. This one's good. The one's from McCart's good. This one just comes out really quickly. And I try to get it all over the top of my nails, all over the cuticles, and then also like underneath the nail on the top part here. And ta-da! This is how I get my nails ready for new nails. My nails are obviously always going to be more damaged than normal because I do so many sets, but as I've said before, that is totally fine with me. Much rather damage nails and be able to do videos than the latter. So, yeah, here they are. I'll show you guys in daylight too, because I just feel like there's a lot going on here. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a like if you thought it was helpful. I hope it was helpful. This is just how I do it, so I hope it can help you. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!